And bro, if you're telling me he doesn't win it then I don't know what the guy got to do to win it. You feel me?
I think it was a 50-50 play. We can replay it right now for the audience if you want to see.
You really want to do this? Really want to do this?
I think it's fair play, man. I mean, how can you play a style of football like that? That's not football. That's kickball. We played that in recess.
Honestly, football, if you're playing like that, amateurs do things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Amateurs do that. Like, little kids do that. You know what I'm saying? Not grown professionals. And coming from a big football club, it's a bit surprising. This probably has to be one of my favorite podcasts that we've done so far.
Welcome to the Proper Football Podcast. We're excited to bring you more news and announcements on the beautiful game. And what we're going to start off with this week is the Ballon d'Or. This is the most coveted award in all of the game. But before we get into that, if you're watching this right now or listen to this, make sure you follow our podcast, like, share, and subscribe so we can continue to give you more content like you're seeing right now. So back to the Ballon d'Or. There were pretty much two main front runners for the award. It's Lionel Messi, who's previously won this already 7 times, and Erling Haaland, the young upcoming striker from Man City.
Damn, only 2, not 3?
I mean, it was 3, first, second, and third.
All right, no, so you're counting out Mbappe is what you're saying.
Well, we'll count him in just for the purposes of this conversation. But there were pretty much 2 people that was really going to win it. But Mbappe still did have a great year. But in the end, we all know who ended up winning it.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I had Messi winning it because, due to politics, you know how it goes.
Due to politics,
You know how it goes. Honestly, I probably thought, not probably, I think Haaland deserved it. He really deserved it. And it's just really unfortunate in his position that he plays for an international team that, may never win. Not win. Actually, yeah, they may never win the World Cup. They're struggling to get into Euros. I don't know if they have a chance still.
Yeah, they do. They have to. The only way they can qualify for Euros is for them to get into like a playoff.
Yeah. See, look at that. That's it's
gonna be difficult.
That's a difficult situation, and they have some good players on their team, but now they're gonna probably hope for up and coming players to come in and try to get the job done, because you can't do it all with just Haaland and Ødegaard,
Yeah, even one of the Norwegian legends, Jan Åge Fortolf, he says the defense is just non-existent. We only have 2 or 3 good players, which you're never going to win much with anything like that. But you bring up a good point, like how much like the World Cup or these international competitions weigh on when you have to like decide who's the best player for this, that, and the other.
Yep. I mean, watching the World Cup, I don't know how you felt, but after Messi lifted that trophy, I was like, yeah, he won it.
Yeah, right then and there, I was like, this is the best player. I already knew it was the best player I ever seen.
But that tournament, he had a good tournament.
He had a great tournament. But then again, this tournament isn't based on who had the best World Cup. Because if we're going based on that, I think Mbappe had the best World Cup.
True.
He had an incredible World Cup, top goal scorer. Could have won his second World Cup if it wasn't for some unfortunate events for the French side. But
to know that he had potential to win a second one at his age is like incredible. The dude's so young. He got so many more World Cups to go play. Yeah. And I mean, damn, him coming in third place as the top French goal scorer for the league, and he wins the League One. And I mean, what do you think about Mbappe? He has good stats. I'm looking at it. He has 55 goals and 14 assists for the year. That's a lot of numbers right there.
That's a lot of numbers, goal contributions.
It's about 70.
And you got to remember, a lot of these goals, and I can remember 2 right off the bat, they're big-time goals. Yeah. They're not goals where you're already winning 5-6-0 already, and then you're just scoring more for fun. Remember, against Argentina, he scored 2 huge goals in the last 10 minutes to keep France in the game.
Scores a hat-trick that game.
Hat-trick, plus a penalty.
Yep. I don't think many players scored a hat-trick in a final.
I can't remember the last time I seen someone score a hat-trick in a final.
Yeah.
Finals are close games. So as far as Mbappe goes, had a great season. But when you look at who came in second place, you really can't compare, because Erling Haaland, I think, had a much better season. Not only did he have better stats, but I think he had better
Achievements,
because it's not only your stats. It's based on what you win, because you can go score 100 goals, but if you lose every single game, it doesn't really matter what the goals go for.
Yeah, so I agree with you. Haaland did a lot this year, especially coming in his first season. You know, he's coming into a team that's probably solidified already. You know, City don't need extra manpower, but they get it anyways.
Right.
And then he goes on to win a treble. What else does he win? UEFA Player, the Man of the Year. What else does he win? Premier League Player of the Season. And he breaks the EPL goal scoring record. I mean, dude, all in 1 year.
All in the first season, being 22, 23 years old.
Yep.
Just scoring for fun. And this is what he does. We know he does this. And we are, right from his first season, this is how you know he was going to have a great season, when we were debating, man, how many goals is he going to score? 30, 40, or 50? No, I don't remember another person that we talked about coming into any league for their first time.
Bro, when he came in, I knew he was breaking the record, bro. Remember when we got the fantasy, bro? I got Haaland. He was my captain the whole year.
Yeah.
Bro, I already knew it.
At the end of the day, like, you got to respect the stats. Like, yeah, he's on Man City, but he was doing this type of stuff at Dortmund, scoring crazy amount of goals. So for him to continue that and not let his light dim, because there's so many other good players that could be taking away the spotlight. He goes in and adds to that.
Yeah.
It's out of control. So how many goals?
56 goals and 9 assists. And bro, I mean,
plus the treble.
Yo, Man City's been struggling for years to win the Champions League. So for him to come and do it his first year,
right?
Yo, I don't know, man. I possibly got robbed, but I don't know, man. It's a very tough one for
because
me.
Let's be real. What this, like, it's the achievements thing that sets the Erling Haaland and Kylian Mbappe apart, because PSG is waiting for Champions League as well, and they're waiting for Mbappe to deliver that. They were waiting for Messi to deliver it for them. They were waiting for Neymar, Mbappe, and Messi all collectively to do it, and they weren't able to do it. So Erling Haaland coming to that team his first year and winning the Champions League, that sets them apart from third and second place.
Volume,
that's huge.
Right?
That's huge, bro.
I mean, yo, credit to both of these guys. You know, they're young players.
Yeah.
And they have a bright future and a long way to go.
Yeah.
And even Messi said that on the stage that, you know, they have a long way to go. Yeah. They'll win it eventually. And, you know, without him in the equation anymore, you know, now it's almost a fair game.
Yeah.
Let's be real.
It's a level playing field. Like, we grew up on the Messi, Ronaldo, Ballon d'Or. Which one is going to be this year?
Yeah,
we never
it was
really
only two. Yeah,
we never really grew up on, like, man, there's this person, but there's always this person, but there's always this person, but there's always this one. We never grew up on that.
There was a few years that was like, you know, speculation like Ribéry might win it, or like
Hazard or somebody.
You know, I don't remember Hazard, but like
that 1 year, 2015, 2016, bro, he was the second best player in the world.
Oh wow, I didn't know that. I don't remember.
Oh no, third after like Ronaldo and Messi.
Yeah, then like Lewandowski recently, Van Dijk came in second recently.
So it's exciting to see, like, this is what we're gonna be able to look. We're gonna have like a even playing field, like 4 or 5 that we can literally make a decent argument.
Yeah.
Hey, this person can win the Ballon d'Or because of this, and this. So it's exciting, but there's only one man to talk about today, and it's the greatest of all time,
Lionel Messi. I mean, he finishes with 42 goals and 16 assists. But I did some calculations. They added some goals for him, and
it's the politics you're talking about, bro.
MLS Cup that he won. So I don't know how that goes, bro.
Under my understanding, I thought the Ballon d'Or only goes to European players, and Messi was a European player or on a European team for the majority of the year, so obviously he's going to be in contention, even though he plays for a team in the MLS. But to count his goals towards those stats, it's kind of strange, because one of the greatest ever to play it, Pele, never won Ballon d'Or. Not because he wasn't good enough, but because he never played in Europe.
He never played in Europe, yeah. No, 100%.
So, I don't know. Maybe it's the politics. Maybe it's the Messi effect, whatever you want to call it.
Politics, Messi effect. I mean, he got it. It's tough to count him out, though. But I thought it was kind of dope to see how when you seen David Beckham on the stage, like gifting him that award, like announcing who's gonna win it, like you knew 10 out of 10, you know, it was gonna be Messi. But even before the award ceremony, like I watched it, but like before, people were already saying like it's confirmed, Messi's gonna win it. Messi's gonna win it. Messi's
like 2 weeks ahead of time.
Yeah,
they were saying confirmed. So and so already, you know, released the statement.
How do you feel about that? Like,
it's so growing up, I always heard the Ballon d'Or is all about politics. It's all about popularity contests, and I never really went along with that whatever you want to call it, that statement, because I always looked at Messi, Ronaldo, and I wanted to see who had the better year. Mm-hmm. And some years it was closer, and sometimes it was speculative and all that. But now I'm seeing it. I'm like, maybe there is, because we have these inflated stats, I guess you want to call it. What else? I mean, did his MLS performance really make a difference? Or was it really down to PSG, which he didn't have a great season?
Let's put it like this. If they don't add those stats,
it looks bad.
No, it doesn't look bad, but it doesn't look as good as Haaland's and Mbappe's.
Right.
Because from that cup, I believe he got 10 right there. He got 1 in the MLS. That's 11 goals right there.
So
and he had 42.
So now you're dropping it to 31 goals.
31 goals.
And how many assists?
16 assists. Still a good season.
Versus someone who scored.
But maybe some of those
scored 20 more goals.
Yeah, but I don't know how many assists he got in the, the cup, MLS. But regardless, they added stats. Definitely inflated. But I mean, then again, I guess it's a good story. The best player to ever achieve, so many Ballon d'Ors. He's on his 8th. It's a blessing to win it once, never mind twice and 3 times, and going on to 8. I can only think of like a few players like Ronaldo, Brazilian Ronaldo won a couple. Cristiano Ronaldo won like 5. Cruyff won like 3. Van Basten won 3. Like, you could keep going. Platini won 3.
And I bet back in those days when they're winning 3, it's like pandemonium. Like, how is he doing this? Yeah. But now it's like, Messi won 5, Ronaldo won 5, Messi won 8, Ronaldo won this. It's like we said, like, they've been competing at the top level for 15 years straight. And this is going to be the first season after this one where we're going to see an even playing field. But it's crazy how things work, because I don't know how they vote based on 100 countries. Each country, the top 100 countries get a journalist, and the top journalist puts in a vote for each country. So that's pretty much how the voting works. It's not really by players or whatever or fans. It's pretty much the journalist who has education on the game. With that being said,
and Messi's number.
And Messi's personal phone number.
Yeah, cell phone number, yeah.
And, whatever else goes into that.
Like, Messi, I just put my vote in for you.
Send me some
funds.
Some coins, yeah. But either way, that's all speculation and controversy. But it really comes down to, how do they vote? Do they put so much like value on winning an international or World Cup competition? Or because if we really think about, if it's down to the World Cup, who wins the World Cup? Kylian Mbappe could easily win the World Cup if at the final play of the game.
Oh, no.
Kolo Muani scores that goal.
Without a doubt in my mind. If Mbappe, not Mbappe, like you said, if he scores, Mbappe wins the Ballon d'Or.
But
100%.
Isn't that interesting?
Because, he was a top goal scorer in the World Cup.
Yeah. And then would have won the World Cup for the second time.
And won the World Cup for the second time, bro. If you're telling me he doesn't win it then I don't know what the guy got to do to win it. You feel me? But, I mean, only 7 players achieved that right after a World Cup. So that's pretty dope, though.
I mean, think about it. The winner of the Ballon d'Or technically didn't have anything to do with the player that actually won it. It has to do with the goalie, Emi Martinez, that made the save so that Argentina could win. And then also, Kolo Muani missing so that Mbappe doesn't win. Because if he makes that, Mbappe wins.
Messi's probably giving Martinez forehead kisses, bro, right after that, bro.
Yeah, he's got to give,
be real.
A huge thank you and all of that, because without him, bro, Messi isn't a Ballon d'Or winner.
I don't think so.
But let's flip the script. Let's say Messi wins the treble and Erling Haaland wins the World Cup. Who do you think wins the Ballon d'Or this year? Who do you think?
I still think Messi.
Gotta be Messi. It's an interesting thing, man. I mean, let us know your comments, because there's a lot of controversy. Is it all about Messi? Is it about you just give him one last one before he retires?
Yeah, no, it's a good story, man. He walks away with 8. That's like, and then like you've seen the photo with 8 rings, bro. Like that. He recreated Bill Russell's photo, and Messi goes down as the best player to ever play the game.
Ever. Undisputed.
And even if he didn't win 8, he'd still be like
so he's good.
the best player to ever play the game. So
It's good while it lasted, man. The Messi Ronaldo rivalry finally officially over.
Yeah.
And now we'll look on to the next generation of Ballon d'Or winners.
Yeah.
What do you got winning next year? I mean, it's still early. These are early predictions. Anything can happen throughout the season, but there's a couple players that might stick out to mind.
It's kind of tough right now because City are not looking their best, because they're not in first. They're still doing good. I think they're a good quality team, but
Still
now
got Mbappe in the
you gotta be realistic. Does Erling Haaland go and wins another Champions League? You know what I'm saying? Does he win the Premier League title this year? Because now the race is looking kind of tough.
Yeah.
You got Tottenham, Arsenal, Liverpool that they're all competing at the top right now.
We ever mentioned Tottenham at the top, bro.
Yeah. No, that's nuts, but that's good for them.
Fair play to them.
Yeah, I don't know. It's gonna be a hard one, but I might stick with my gut feeling and I'm gonna just go with Haaland.
Haaland?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Man City, around towards the end of the year, they just start winning 15 games in a row, and they end up winning the league most years out of what they have. So, Haaland's a good choice. I mean, I'm gonna have to go with the star boy of the season.
Oh, Bellingham?
Mr. Bellingham.
Oh,
bro.
that could happen.
13. I mean, he's on fire. 13 goals in 13 matches. I mean, scoring more goals than pretty much almost any striker in Europe.
I don't know about that.
Almost.
I know he's
up there.
He's
a
up
top
there,
5 goal
but
scorer.
he is a top goal scorer in La Liga.
And he's a midfielder. I mean, he's carrying the team at 20 years old, and he's 20. So I can only think he's going to progress. As long as he stays injury-free, he's going to go to the Euros in the summer and play really well for England. England has a strong side. They really could win it. So, all those things playing in together could be Bellingham, but let us know what you think.
Imagine that, bro. Like I forgot to mention, Haaland probably shot himself in the foot playing for Norway. Because just imagine him and Jude Bellingham in England. They already played with each other in Dortmund.
Bro, forget.
How much damage would they do in an England squad?
Forget about it, bro. It wouldn't even be a competition. You'd have not only them
imagine Musiala there too.
Yeah, that would be outrageous.
Dude, those three together.
They would have to, make an A and B team because you got Harry Kane and Haaland. You got Musiala and Bellingham.
I mean,
it would be crazy.
If you had Harry Kane and Haaland, you'd have to start 2 up top.
Have to,
You have to just find a formation that fits for them two. Bro, that would have been crazy. 100% World Cup champions if they have that team.
Can we make a quick, can you imagine that midfield? Declan Rice in the 6, Musiala, Bellingham, Haaland, Kane. Nah, I gotta stop imagining. We gotta stop it out because
that's sick, right?
That's a fantasy league right there, fantasy team that could have happened. But fair play. Speaking of Bellingham and Real Madrid, we had El Clásico.
El Clásico finishes 2-1. Real Madrid wins. Before the game, Real Madrid had 102 wins to Barcelona's 100 wins and 52 draws. And with this win, they come out top with 103. But regardless of the point, I mean, it's pretty even. Sounds even to me.
Yeah, it doesn't get much evener than that. Of course, Barcelona's going to have a few more matches to even it out and make it exactly 50%. But I think this game was pretty reflective of the stats you just gave. A tale of two halves, I think. I think Barcelona really controlled the first half and really was on the front foot, creating a lot of chances, hitting the post, young players stepping up.
Yeah.
In the midst of injuries, I think Barcelona played really well and could have went 2-3-0 up in the first half. But the ref really let them play. If you look at some of the stuff that was going on, I like a game like that. A little bit more, aggressive, a little bit more, let it flow instead of playing fouls.
Yeah, I mean,
especially in El Clásico, the biggest game of the year, I would say, maybe in all sports.
I like that because you give the players time to play instead of having to blow the whistle, stop the flow of the game.
Right.
And then adding an extra 15 to 20 minutes after the game. So I mean, like you said, first half Barcelona did really well.
You end up scoring
and Tchouaméni with the missed touch. And Gundogan scores, and for me, it's kind of crazy how much energy a guy like Gundogan has.
At his age.
At his age. And he's not like an attacking midfielder or whatever. Like, for him to follow up and go score that goal, that's amazing. I mean, Alaba, again, with the mistake. Alaba doesn't look like, a starting player for me for Real Madrid at the moment. And I think Real Madrid are struggling without Militao.
Yeah, man.
They miss his presence right now.
If you look on the bench, it's like they look a little shaky when it comes down to the defense. And with Alba making all these mistakes, is he going to have to take some stick and sit on the bench? I highly doubt that Ancelotti will go that far given the lack of reinforcements he has on the bench. But Alba's got to pick it up because this is not the first or second mistake. This has been going on for several weeks since the Sevilla game and all these other games that they've been playing. So something's got to change with Alaba if they want Real Madrid to stay in first place and move on up in the ranks. But first half, you got to give it to Barca. Like I said, could have went up maybe more than 1 or 2 goals. But second half came on about 5 or 6 minutes after the second half. Ancelotti makes a few changes, puts in Camavinga, and I think he was the game changer, bro, because we've watched what he can do last year at Real Madrid, what he can do in the World Cup. He's just so silky, bro. Like he really can control the game, I think, by himself. And he has all this help on the pitch already, so it makes the job even easier for him. You can even see him going 1v1 versus big defenders against
1v1.
1v1 against Araujo, bro.
1v1. That was a bad tackle. And that's Kelton's favorite guy, by the way.
I like Araujo, but I think that was that 1v1.
Was a bad tackle.
I think that was a foul.
So what about the one with Vinny?
The one with Vinny,
that was before the
that was our first half?
First half.
I don't think that was a foul. I think that was a 50-50 play. We can replay it right now for the audience if you want to see.
You really want to do this? You really want to do this?
I think it's fair play, man.
Vinny's looking for the 1-2, and Araujo just is blocking his path. Obstruction, 100% obstruction.
Some call it obstruction, some call it positioning.
If you're going for the ball, okay, but the ball was not near them. And you can tell. Like, when that happens, you almost tell, like, after, like, yeah, that's 100% foul because look what he did to Camavinga. What was he trying to do there? He was trying to get the ball?
No, Camavinga was a clear foul. I think that would have been a penalty because not only is he not going for the ball, he also trips him up and causes both of them to fall.
Yeah.
The difference between the one with Vinny is I feel like he's trying to get body position but not trying to body him. He's 6'3", 6'4". Vinny's a small guy. If me and you are running
I feel it, but it's never even 50-50 to begin with because Vinny's, like, smaller than a guy. It's really, like, 70-30. And, if you want to be fair, it should have been a foot race versus him throwing his body at Vinny. Because if Vinny gets that ball, it becomes a dangerous play. Vinny might get a goal or an assist on that play.
If Vinny gets that ball, it becomes a dangerous play. It becomes a goal-scoring opportunity. And they probably equalize right there in the first half. But because Araujo uses his brain and knows that he's not as fast as Vinny, he knows he's going to be able to use other attributes he has, like strength and body positioning, which he does to get in front of him. Notice that he doesn't fall on the floor. Vinny gets bodied and he goes forward.
He does that because
and he wins the ball.
He, first and foremost, he has bad body positioning.
To start off.
And now he needs to find a way to get back,
which he did,
in place, in which he didn't. He threw his body at Vinny, and Vinny falls. So
I guess
you guys let us know. You guys let us know.
We'll agree to disagree.
Because you know how defenders be, man. Defenders, man, nothing's a foul for them.
Nothing's a foul, but attackers, everything's a foul. So you let us know in the comments.
Ferran Torres on Vinny, that's 100%.
Yeah, that could have been a red, bro.
My man's was playing rugby out there,
He's playing American football, wrong type of football.
Come on now.
Craziness, but
he was trying to get drafted. But yeah, I think second half, good plays, good chances on both ends. What was it? Rafinha was offsides, but that was a nice play.
Man, Lamine Yamal, bro, that
beautiful ball.
That ball. I think from the second half, like Barca kind of took a step back, and Real Madrid saw the opportunity to take a step forward and really go attack because it felt like Barca was trying to hold on to that lead.
Yeah.
And just hold on to that 1-0 lead, and it ended up biting them in the ass.
Yep, 100%. And then, game shifts because of Jude Bellingham, and that was an absolute rocket.
Yeah, It was
you know when you play like back in the day when you're playing FIFA Street and you got a game breaker.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And then you come through and just blast the ball.
It, yeah.
Bro, when have you seen Bellingham shoot the ball like that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you see him score goals, but it's like not blast though. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Him is usually good body position and good IQ, but he said
placing it in or
let me show you what else I have in my repertoire. Blasting this thing, putting this thing on a line, slingshot style. And Ter Stegen, you know, he tried his best, but you know, when a ball is shot that hard and that accurate, there's not much you can do. And
he's not. I 100% don't feel like he's expecting Bellingham to blast that ball.
Expecting it or not, man, it's a phenomenal shot to tie the game up at 1-1. And at the very last minutes of the game, Bellingham comes up again and scores a last-minute winner. Call it lucky, call it, you know, fortunate. I'm calling it using your brain, good body position, good IQ, good
following
awareness.
through with the play.
Yeah, and ties it. Oh, not ties it. Wins it.
Yep.
El Clásico, man.
But that's what we were taught growing up. Follow through with the play. Yeah. That's why Gundogan scored the goal.
Yeah.
You know, he kept going on. Bellingham, look at this. Like you said, bad touch. Modric, bro. You see it from miles away. We seen the footage. Dude's like jogging. Then he's sprinting.
Yeah. And it's tough to defend a player like that that's always on the move, changing speeds, changing velocity, changing positions. Someone like Bellingham, I would have a nightmare. Just his IQ alone is scary, but his speed, his strength, his confidence, awareness, and then finishing ability, you can say second to none right now because he has 13 goals in 13 matches with 3 assists. Name me another player with stats like that.
You seen even Holland, bro. He like pretty much shouted him out on his Instagram story. He was just, I forget what he said, but I think he was like wow, this guy's ridiculous or something like that.
A bunch of players were saying that.
Yeah, but dude, in a Clásico game, 2 goals for the win.
It's outrageous, man. If he continues this, I think he has to win the Ballon d'Or. But
and he's a midfielder.
He's
bro.
a midfielder,
bro.
Not an attacking one.
Yeah, not an attacking midfielder. With the stats he has right now for goals and assists, bro, he's good for the season. If he doesn't
score another goal for the rest of the season, and he'll have one of the better seasons that any midfielder has had in that league.
100%.
I'm talking about the Iniestas, the Modric's, the Xavis, all these other players.
Bro, possibly even Zizou.
At 20 years old.
Yeah, bro. Amazing stats. You know,
Scary.
Keep going, Bellingham. I'm a huge fan. Keep doing numbers out here. And, hopefully you get England a World Cup someday.
Yeah, and hopefully you stay in La Liga and don't come to Premier League because if you face Chelsea, we're in for a nightmare.
Yeah, if you come to Premier League, you know where to stop. You know what I'm saying? You come to Liverpool, we got you, man. Take care of you.
Yeah, it'll take care. Well, yeah, man. Bellingham is on fire and unbelievable stuff I'm witnessing, man.
Hope you're liking our video so far. Like, share, subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.
All right, moving along to the English Premier League. We're going to start off with the newscast. Going to give you some fixtures that ended up being played and some of the results. So Crystal Palace lose at home to Spurs 2-1. Our beloved Chelsea lose at home to Brentford 2-0. Sad story. Arsenal smash Sheffield United 5-0 with Nketiah scoring a hat trick. Bournemouth scored 2 goals against Burnley and win the game 2-1. And Wolves pull off a surprising 2-2 draw against Newcastle at home.
Yeah, I think that one surprised me the most this week, the Wolves game, 2-2 draw. All right, so we have West Ham and Everton. Everton takes the game 1-0. Next game, we have Aston Villa and Fulham. And Aston Villa wins 3-1 against Luton Town. Oh, I said Fulham, sorry. Aston Villa and Luton Town. All right, the following game, we have Brighton and Fulham 1-1. We have Liverpool and Nottingham Forest with a nice 3 points. Keep going, Liverpool. And we have United and Man City. 3 points for Man City, 3-0.
Shameful loss by Man United. And I guess we'll start off by going real in-depth with the Man City game, the Manchester Derby at Old Trafford.
Is it really a derby still? these days.
I don't know. I mean, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, it wasn't a derby, and now again, it's not a derby. I think we'll just call it a derby. But either way, they're at Old Trafford. The late, great Sir Bobby Charlton just passes away a week prior. You think they're going to have all the motivation, all the courage to go out and, go with their shield and their swords and say, we're ready for war against the biggest, baddest team in all of the land. And it was just a shameful, dreadful performance.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised with the result. They've been struggling for weeks, and, they're continuing to struggle. They just lost today in the League Cup, sadly. 3-0, same scoreline.
Crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I think City started well this week, and I say that because they had a better lineup. You know what I'm saying? They started the lineup that they've been playing with the previous seasons. Right. And that's why I feel like Man City looked their best this week.
I agree with you, bro, because Man City, it's a system-based playing style. One person can come out and one person will come right in and do the same job. Akanji can be suspended for this game, and Stones or Guardiola is going to come in and do the same exact job, and it really doesn't matter. And we saw that throughout the game, but the very opposite was for Manchester United. You have players that aren't used to playing certain positions and being forced to play in those positions. It's all disjointed. I mean, Lindelof playing left back, terrible decision because he's not a left back. Not a bad player, but just can't play left back. You got McTominay playing center attack and mid. I know he's been scoring some goals, but, come on. He's not a center attack and mid. You got Bruno Fernandes, the most creative player on your team, playing right wing in who knows where he's supposed to be.
He's in no man's land.
No man's land. That's what I was looking for.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with Man U. Let's start off with the game. I guess at first I would say the beginning of the game they started pretty well. Even the whole half, they had a pretty good half. And Guardiola had a couple sloppy mistakes.
Right.
But after that, I mean, I think he improved his game right after that because those are two pretty bad mistakes that Man U were able to go on a counterattack, but they didn't, maximize their opportunity.
Yeah, Man City was lucky that Man U didn't capitalize on Guardiola mistakes because could have been a different game. But Man U not that bad of a half. Man U, I would say, still had the bulk of possession, played much better, and they had a style of play where I saw that they wanted to overload on Dalot's side. You saw Bernardo Silva, Jack Grealish staying on that side, putting crosses in, giving goals. And it was a problem for them to deal with because you know who's lurking on the other side waiting for some headers.
Yeah.
Big Bad Wolf.
Big Bad Wolf. Yeah, for sure. Even in the first half, City had some, good chances, Foden with the header and Onana, saving, a few shots. And the past few weeks he probably wasn't at his best, but he's done it. He's done it this time. I think he's stepping up his game a bit, and he saved Man U a lot this game.
Yeah, this game and this week he saved them in the Champions League game against Copenhagen, the final PK, and then this one, I mean, he did his thing when it came down to shot stopping. I mean, Haaland could have scored many more goals than what he did.
Oh, yeah, no.
Foden could have scored. I mean, there's so many more goals. It could have been just 3-4-0 at half for Man City if it wasn't for Onana. But like you said, he really came up big and kept them in the game at 1-0 at halftime.
Yeah. All right, so first half is done. And, there's a few questionable changes that come in.
Questionable to say the least.
Amrabat coming off.
And the way I see it is Amrabat is like the Casemiro replacement in a sense because Casemiro was suspended or injured. I think he was injured. Amrabat's supposed to play that 6 role because there's no one really on the team that can properly play the 6 role. Amrabat's not going to be Casemiro, but he can do the job. You know what I'm saying? You take him out to put in Mason Mount. I know you need a goal, but you're not 2 or 3 goals down where you need goals so desperately at halftime. You really just need 1 goal, and in the first half, they weren't that bad. Like, it was still kind of in the game.
They had opportunities. McTominay probably had the best opportunity first half. towards the end of the half. And even like I said, bro, they went on a couple counterattacks. They're just not playing to Højlund's strengths. Yeah. And I don't know, man. They got to figure it out. Højlund's not a bad striker, but as a striker, even like myself growing up, the best when you're playing with midfielders that play within your ability, that's when you shine.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
That chemistry you're talking about.
That chemistry, because the midfield needs to be the facilitator. The ones that's like, all right, he's better in the air. I'm gonna give it to him like this. He's better when he's checking in, and I'm giving him balls to his feet. You gotta play to your striker's abilities, and
right, bro.
Yeah, it's the truth. And bro, Højlund was doing good last season. I don't think he's a bad player. I think he can potentially step it up as he goes, but. Yeah, I'm not liking how they're calling him 007 right now.
0 goals in 7 matches is kind of crazy, man, because we were expecting him to come off and be like, all right, Man U, they need a striker. They got the striker they needed. They paid the $80 million or whatever it was for him, and he's going to live up to the name. And I'm not going to say he's not living up to the name because they're playing him in a style where he's not going to be able to thrive. I mean, Man United's style of play, it seems like, based on what I'm seeing, is
it's a free-for-all.
Rashford going to left, and Højlund going to right, and run as fast as you can down the line because we're going to kick it down to one of those sides, so be ready. I mean, how can you play a style of football like that? That's not football, that's kickball. We played that in recess.
Honestly, football, if you're playing like that, amateurs do things like that. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Amateurs do that. Like, little kids do that. You know what I'm saying? Not grown professionals, and coming from a big football club is a bit surprising.
Yeah, I mean, Man United had no attacking threat. They were pretty much playing on hopes and dreams, on relying on Rashford and Højlund to turn into Messi and Ronaldo on both sides and just create something, which was never going to happen. Because if that counterattacking, the two-man counterattacking style that they want to play doesn't work, then nothing works for them. Because even defensively, they can't really defend as a unit. You have the front four people, McTominay, Rashford, Højlund, and Bruno Fernandes, which is playing right wing for God knows what reason. Should be in the middle because he's the most creative player in your team. He's not playing in this position, and they're defending alone. And then the back six is defending alone. So there's a huge gap in the middle where you have players like Rodri, Stones, Bernardo Silva, Grealish that can go in, Foden, go in there.
And these are guys that have been playing with each other, chemistry.
They will tear you apart if you allow them to. And if you have that big gap like that, it's game over for you, bro. And we saw that in the second half.
Yeah. Haaland already has 1 goal in the first half. Second half, he scores another, and he's by himself, completely by himself. This dude is already an aerial threat. How do you leave the guy alone?
Like I said, bro, they're overloading that side.
But this was coming off on Lindelof's side.
Lindelof's sides.
Yeah.
This was...
Wow,
second
half. Lindelof's playing left back. Evans on his side.
Header.
But they left him completely open. You don't leave a guy like Haaland open, bro. He's a problem while you're marking him.
It comes down to absorbing so much pressure.
Yeah.
What are you going to do? And let's not forget what the back line was looking like. We didn't tell them if they didn't see the game. You have Harry Maguire, Johnny Evans, and Lindelof at left back playing in the defense. The only proper player that's playing in their position is pretty much Dalot. Harry Maguire,
and they were exploiting his spot most of the time.
They knew those other sides are going to be weaker. And Man City came up with a great game plan because they have Stones pushing up. As soon as they get the ball, Stones is right in the midfield. Rodri's in the midfield. So that gives Bernardo Silva that ability and freedom to go around and just play wherever he wants and overload certain sides, because even if they lose the ball, it's so compact. And even the back line was pushing up. I mean, this textbook from Man City, but Man U had no answers for them.
Yeah. Haaland gets an assist. He could have been selfish and probably shot the ball, but great decision. He passes the ball to Foden for him to score. And
a good finish with the toe.
Yeah. And, great result. 3-0 in a derby.
Yeah. Played a match?
Oh, yeah. So, let's see. Player of the match.
See, before you say anything,
I
thought I was going to be Haaland. 2 goals and assists. It shouldn't be a question.
Yeah, bro. I had to watch after the fact. I was watching some Sky Sports, and dude, yo, man in the match was surprising to me. But before we get there, they was talking to Holland, and he didn't seem like how can I say? He didn't seem phased that he didn't get a hat trick. You know, like he's like, yeah, it's okay. I don't really care. Like we got the win.
Yeah, and I think that has a lot to do with the first game of the season when he had like, I think they played Burnley the first game of the season. And remember at halftime, spazzing at Bernardo Silva and giving the ball, and Pep had to calm him down. I think you have to give Pep credit and Erling Haaland credit for learning from him that you have to play for the team and play for the win. Even if you already know you're going to win, you got to play properly for when you face the Real Madrid, when you face the Bayern Munich, to play smart and not selfishly.
Yeah.
So
credit to him. That's growth.
Growth.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
And that's maturity. You know, as a striker, we want to score, of course, but the 3 points was more important.
Yeah.
They go on to say, Holland goes on to say, Pep just loves Bernardo. He just loves him. And then Pep comes in. He says, oh, yeah. They talk about Bernardo real quick. He's like, yeah, I could talk about Bernardo for 10 minutes.
We stay here for 10 minutes.
10 minutes I talk about Bernardo.
Even before the game, I think he said that Bernardo Silva is irreplaceable.
Dude, can you not agree? I mean, the dude plays on the wing. He plays as an 8. He plays as a 10. He just recently played as a 6.
Left back, he can play.
Dude, like I said in recent podcasts, I think you can just trust this guy anywhere on a pitch, and it was good that they kept him because they just lost Gundogan, and there's been so much speculation how he might go to Barcelona. He wants to leave, and
right.
It was good that they kept him because you don't want to lose a guy like Bernardo Silva.
You can't, especially with De Bruyne out for so long. You needed someone to step into that role and really facilitate.
Right now, I think he's the leader of the team.
Right, I would say so, especially in that midfield. It's such a pivotal position. Man of the match for the guy, huh?
Yeah, man of the match. You believe that, and like you said, bro, I assumed off the rip. I'm like, Holland got 2 goals and an assist. I'm like,
easy.
It's not questionable.
Yeah.
But they handed it to Bernardo, and that just speaks volume of how much he does for the team.
Yeah.
He's a threat everywhere. He's always helping, always providing, and great player, man.
Great player, man. Another notable players, you can say Rodri had a phenomenal game. Stones amazes me every time I see him step on the pitch.
That's what I'm saying. They're better when they have the guys that have been there. Like Stones coming in, and I'm like, him and Rodri, they're gonna be solid right there in that middle.
Yeah. They're gonna give you an 8, 9 out of 10 every single game.
Yeah,
minimum. It's crazy, but you can't say the same for Man U. And a lot of people are looking at Man U right now saying, what's the problems? Is it the ownership? Is it the players? Is it the coach? Is it the system? It just looks like there's a bunch of turmoil going on, and they're looking for solutions.
I mean, let's just put it like this. They beat top 4 last season. I understand everything that's going on, but you still got to make something for it. You know what I'm saying? As football players, you have to come in and play within the, what is it?
Expectations.
Not just expectations. Like, you just got to play. Like, you just got to play with all the ruckus. You know what I'm saying? Like, no matter what's going on, you still have to go. You still have a job. You still go and play week in, week out with heart.
Yeah.
Grit, all this stuff, and the team is like totally dysfunctional. Like you said,
on and off the pitch.
On and off the pitch. I've seen some posts like supposedly Casemiro's regretting being at Man U. What's the dude that's trying to Radcliffe? He's trying to buy 25% of United. They don't know who's coming. They don't know who's going.
Even that, bro.
They don't know who he's going to fire when he comes in, when he's able to make decisions.
Even before Radcliffe, they were having the Saudi guys were trying to buy 100% for like $6 billion, and they said no because they wanted more money. And it's like, you have someone that's willing to buy the club, giving you a fair price, going to take on all the debt, take on everything, and you're saying no, and you're continuing on with the chaos. Do the owners really care about the club, or do they care about themselves? Yeah. It's really evident in their actions right now.
Yeah. And then, like, the excuses is like, the stadium is not good. The training facilities are not good. Like I said, as players, you play within the conditions. That's it.
Like, none of that matters when you step on the field for those 90 minutes.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what your training facility looks like. It doesn't matter, who's getting along. When you get on the pitch, me and you could be enemies, but when we're on the pitch, we're fighting for our lives.
Yeah.
That's just how we do it. Even, like, Sancho refusing to apologize to Ten Hag.
Petty.
And that's an internal problem there. That's not something that's just wrong with Sancho, because there's other players that's just not really getting along. And once this continues to fester, because there's been reports that he's still very close friends with the teammates there, like Rashford and all them. Even Rashford, after the game, did you see this?
No.
He threw a birthday party right after the game.
For who?
For himself.
Oh, wow.
A few hours after the game, he threw a birthday party.
I mean,
Malacia was there, like injured players that, like, just aren't playing right now.
I'm no one to say whether they should do that or not do that. I mean, it is his birthday, but I mean, in my opinion, bro, after a 3-0 loss, you just, kicked our ass, bro. I'm probably going to go home, order me some Chinese food, solo, you know what I'm saying? Eat that joint, go to sleep. Disappointed. Bro, man. That's nuts. I mean, like I said, he can do whatever he wants in his life, but I mean, it just comes to show, I mean, some of these players don't prioritize the game anymore.
And we were talking about it before we even recorded, like, the IQ level, like, the mentality compared to when we were growing up, watching these players isn't the same from the players from today. Because, like, back in the day, like, you would never even think about, like, doing some of the stuff they're doing, talking back to your coach. Bro, you'll never play another game.
Yeah.
It's just crazy what's going on, but it's a shambles of a club
facts,
right
now. I've had coaches I've come into like crazy disagreements, and I sat there and I didn't open my mouth. Yeah. There's one coach I actually opened my mouth to, and I didn't see the pitch after that.
Mad respect for that coach, though.
Oh, not
mad respect for that coach.
No, I don't know. I don't know if I have respect for him.
We must be talking about someone else, but
yeah, no, I'm talking about somebody else. No, cause
we'll keep it anonymous. you gotta get the exclusive.
You know what I'm saying?
For that
one. Yeah, we don't want to get into that one, but I think he messed up my college career.
Oh man.
So what was I gonna say? Yeah, you don't think about talking back to your managers because it's, not the way to go about it. And then, like, the media's included. You're making it worse. A lot of things have to be behind closed doors.
Because you're a reflection of the club.
Yeah.
You wear that badge in the front for a reason and your name in the back for a reason. You're a reflection of the club, bro. At the end of the day, you have to do what's right for the club. And it's like common sense, but I guess common sense isn't too common, and it just shows game after game after game. Even previous games that they've won against Burnley, Copenhagen. These are teams that you don't even think about Man U winning. It's like, all right, Man U's winning. What's the next big game? But now we're thinking about, are they gonna win against Galatasaray?
Yeah.
Are they gonna tie this game? Burnley was only a 1-0 win, and they got kind of lucky. McTominay saved them against Sheffield, whoever it was,
Wolves and all.
Wolves. I mean, like,
it's getting worse and worse and worse.
Even today, bro.
Even today, as the days go on, and when Radcliffe comes in, if Ten Hag has his job still, it's gonna be very surprising. He's been here for a while. He's bringing in players that he thought that, could bring an influence to the team, and he's managed them before, and they're coming into a Man U, and they're not making noise. Anthony, what's Anthony doing? Slapping Doku's hands for the game.
All right.
You know what I'm saying?
Starting stuff for no reason.
Not making a impact on the game.
Eriksen, has he really made a difference to the squad? I think he was just a role player.
I think that's a good role player, not a Man U starter.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
And but that's where the standards have dropped, man.
The standards have dropped.
Because even when you look at players like Reguilon, like, that's the third choice. Like, you don't look at even like last year. No one wanted. Look, Tottenham. If they really valued him, they wouldn't let him go.
They wouldn't let him go.
But they will.
But now look, Man U's like, let's just grab this guy because we can probably use him at some point.
That's a great point. That's
you know what I'm saying? Bro. And Man U's into shambles, bro. I just don't know how much longer Ten Hag may have a job, and Gary Neville and Carragher got into it because, I felt like I agree more with Carragher than Gary Neville because I felt like Gary Neville.
Because he's a Liverpool former player.
No. I just feel like there was more excuses on his end.
Yeah.
He was saying how Carragher was saying how Tottenham and Aston Villa, managers are coming in and they're making a better impact on the team. You know what I'm saying? And these we're talking about teams that have been struggling for a long time. Tottenham have not been able to, be in the number one position. Aston Villa climbing up from when what's his name from Aston Villa Unai
Emery.
Yeah, so he comes in and he makes a difference on the team. But then Neville's making excuses how these guys are coming in and there's no backroom noise and all this other stuff. I feel like it's excuses, bro. If you're a manager, bro, regardless of the point, bro, you do your job regardless if you're leaving or not.
Right, regardless of the club, regardless of the circumstances, you do the job that you got hired to do. Look at Eddie Howe in Newcastle, sitting at 17th place or something, and now they're in the top 4 the following season. Like you said, Aston Villa, Steven Gerrard put him in 16th place. Unai Emery comes in, gets him in to Europa League or Conference League, whatever they're in. I mean,
look, they just lost Harry Kane. Tottenham just lost Harry Kane, their most prized player, and they're number 1 right now. So I'm not with the excuses.
No excuse.
I'm
Ten
not
Hag
with the excuses.
Needs to leave, and they need a new club. I mean, because like you said, the players that they got.
But I don't know if it's just Ten Hag too. It's like, it's really tough. It's really tough. Cause Man, any coach has been coming in has just been problematic.
Yeah.
But if you're taking this job, you gotta be ready for the backlash. You have to come in and resolve the problem. And he hasn't been able to.
I agree. And the problem and the solutions that he brought up really didn't make any sense because you have Onana, the best on his feet, I guess you can say. But now you have playing a style where you can't play out the back. Yeah. Now you got to blast up to the front. Anthony, we don't need to go more. He wants to play direct style football, but Anthony doesn't go forward. He only goes backwards. I mean, all these players wasted money. And it's tough. And it's reflecting on all leagues. Even the loss today against Newcastle in the Carabao Cup, 3-0 at home.
Well,
outrageous.
Now we're gonna go on to Sandro Tonali. He has a 10-month ban, and look at that. They're beating Man U without Tonali.
Outrageous.
No problem.
This is the top signing they made this year, and they're like, all right, we don't need him. We'll still spank you 3-0.
Yeah, it's pretty shameful, but Sandro Tonali admits to his betting addiction, and agent talks about how he does have an addiction, and Newcastle supporters are actually
they're
backing him up.
Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate because a lot of these players are already making millions and millions of dollars. So they don't need to do this, and I'm convinced they're not doing it for the money. They must be doing it for the thrill, like the excitement. Oh man, I just bid 50,000. I might win 3 million, but I don't care because I already make this amount of money already on a regular. Whatever it is, but it's unfortunate because such a great player at his age, at his prime, 24-year-old self, leaving Milan, going to Newcastle, playing in the Champions League. Now he's got to miss the whole year out.
Yeah,
it's a loss for Newcastle as far as depth. I'm not sure how much they're relying on him, but as far as depth between someone like the Longstaff coming in and Tonali is a big jump. No disrespect to Longstaff, but Tonali
I think he's a great player, but still, they're obviously different players.
It's tough.
But now they lose, someone that could help the rotation.
Yeah.
And he's a big time quality player. And I don't think it's gonna impact them reaching top 4, but you brought him in because you wanted to make a run in Champions League, and in the group that they have right now, it's a difficult group, and to lose him at this time, it's got to be the worst feeling.
For both Newcastle and Sandro Tonali, because he's gonna miss 10 games. He doesn't have the opportunity to represent his country in the Euros if they make it that far. And will he come back a similar player when his ban is over? You never know. We're now playing a game for 10 months, for a whole year, similar to Ivan Toney for the same thing, betting allegations, or convictions, I should say. are they gonna come back the same players? Who knows? Well, it's unfortunate to see.
Within that 10 months, he has a lot to do. He has to stay in shape,
Get his mind right.
Exactly, get his mind right, and get back to playing football because, even with the Rashford thing we're just talking about, it's priorities, man. And I feel like I'm starting to see it's common with a lot of soccer players these days. It's like playing football is not enough. Back in the day, bro, I'm telling you, these guys were happy with just playing ball, and they weren't making the money that these players are making right now. So, for me, it's a blessing the amount of money that they're getting and stuff, but it's also a curse, And like I said, it all leads down to priorities. I hope he gets it right.
Like they say, the love of money is the root of all evil. So, anybody out there watching with any addictions or any problems, make sure you get the help that you need because rather you being on the right track rather than the wrong track. So get the help you need, whether big or small, big money, small money, whatever the spectrum may be. Make sure you do what you got to do to make sure that we're doing the right things for not only you, but everybody around you.
Yep. But thank you for everybody for tuning in. This probably has to be one of my favorite podcasts that we've done so far, but continue to share, subscribe. We need all the subscribers we need, and thank you again for tuning in.
And that's the end of the episode. Thanks for tuning in. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.